I would do some archbishop. Been a school them from when me in a khaki shot. Liverpool couldn't test the way me raw sit up quick draw. Him drop and can't get up, him not fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the down brace for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your black. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad pants in power to some archbishop. Them no bad. School them from me in a darkish. Them no bad. School couldn't test it with me rasty. Drop and can't beat up no fast enough for my bab that you never saw. Send for the damn grace for your firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your none of them boy, they no bad. Left a mark, young gog on a regular. We say them hardly ready. Them a new type of artillery. We a boss, I know Tom and Jerry. Out the blue I hit you with an airstrike. They not bad like my air Nikes. It's a rare sight, yeah. Steady aim with precision, make the vision with a clear sight. Better go get your affairs sight. Them boy, they no none of them boy, they no bad. Road back, live with my bar. If you mark, them no bad. On the regular, we see them hard, them no bad. Me a new type of artillery. I am bust, I know Tom and Jerry. Out the blue, you better airstrike. They no bad, me air nice. Clear sight. Steady aim, they no bad. And it's the vision, we got clear sight. Better get perfect, them boy, they no bad.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. How are we doing today? It's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday night here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have a heck of a show for you guys today. Most importantly, driver the number 18 for Delcoin Racing and HMD Motorsports, Daivd Malukas, is going to stop by the show, talk to us fairly shortly. We're going to review the LA crash at the Coliseum, and it's going to be a heck of a day. But first, let me introduce myself and my incredible co-host. My name is Tristan Greider, joined with Daniel Chaney and Justin Cox. Jay, how are you doing on this Tuesday?
Man, I'm all right. I'm having a really good day today, you know? Like, it's been a great day. I don't know why. I just feel refreshed and amazing right now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I played some soccer last night, so that might be part of it too. So, that was pretty fun. But, yeah. So, Daniel, what's up with you, man?
Nothing much. I've had a rather not very busy day. Pretty boring. So I felt very unproductive, but I'm really happy to be on the show to talk about I'll put it in air quotes, racing we saw this weekend.
Yeah.
We saw in the first half of the race.
It's true.
Not sure about the second half, but we'll talk about that later.
True. I've had a pretty decent day so far. I mean, I kicked a couple people in the head today, so I mean that's a normal occurrence for me, though.
That's fine.
A little bit of a stressful morning. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely woke up late and almost missed my really important class because this is my last semester of college. So I mean, really kind of trying to get through it. So I can't really miss this one important class, but it's all right. We're getting through it. So yeah, guys, we're gonna. Really quickly, we're going to talk to Daivd Malukas, one of our really good friends of the show, was actually the first guest we ever had on the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. So let's go ahead and switch over and talk to him.
Let's go.
All right. Here we are, joined by driver of the number 18 for HMD Motorsports, Dale Coyne Racing, or as some people like to say, quirked up white boy racing, Daivd Malukas. How are
Look
you
at the
doing today,
reaction.
brother?
Look at the reaction. That was funny.
I'm doing great. I'm doing even better. Wow, that made my day. That was amazing. Yeah, no, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. So man, first thing we got to talk about, you just came back from Thermal. Looked like it was a fun weekend out there for Media Day. Just how was your experience overall?
Oh man, it was so good to be back in the car, to see the IndyCar family again. It was a very long off season, and at the end of the Laguna last year, I was like, oh, finally, man, that was a lot of racing. I can't wait to take this break. And 2 weeks in, I was like crying to get back into a car. So man, it felt so good. I honestly thought I forgot how to drive, but thankfully I did, a couple laps and everything felt right back at home. Media day, everything was good. I actually had my suit this time other than last year, so you live and you learn. So, although it was late, but I don't think that was our fault. So all around it was very good to get back into the car and see everybody again.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited that we're going to have some new gifts to be able to use throughout the off season to celebrate whenever you have successes, which is awesome because I know that's always some drivers' favorite parts. Looked like you were having a good time with it. Some drivers' least favorite parts. What was your favorite one that you did during Media Day?
Oh, on content day, there was a cool thing. We actually, well, I don't know if it's like spoilers because I guess I haven't seen it anywhere, but I'm gonna spoil it anyways. But it was like an ASMR thing.
Ooh.
It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. So I probably spoiled that. So sorry, IndyCar, but it was it was interesting.
Awesome.
You heard it
That's
first.
awesome.
Daivd Malukas does ASMR.
I know. Yeah, let me in.
FBI, open up.
That's hilarious. But
Yeah.
I mean, okay, we have to talk about the most memorable part of your content day. All over IndyCar media, all over the IndyCar memes page, was the Malukas gritty.
Oh my.
We have to. Okay. So, like, did they just ask you to do it, or was this something that you came up with on yourself?
So they asked. So I did that little like video on the story saying, asking the fans like what they wanted to see, and somebody wanted to see me do the gritty, and obviously I've never like done it before. I know what it is, but I never done it before. So like I kind of just did like one practice run and then just did it. And obviously it was like pretty bad. But I was like, I don't care. Somebody said do the gritty, and they're like, can you do it? And I was like, I mean, yeah, you guys want me to do the gritty? I'll do the gritty, like whatever. I mean, a lot of people were roasting me, and they were like, wow, like this was so bad.
I mean, it was something I did not expect to pop up on my feed that day. It brought a smile to my face. And I was like, there we go. That's what I needed to see.
I said in the group chat, I said, guys, IndyCar Instagram, and I think the words I chose was, what was he cooking?
Who let this man cook? Who let this man cook?
I just really enjoy how that was like the first thing people see, like from content day, from this preseason test. The first thing they like after this long wait, you see me gritty. Yeah.
Think about the fact that some people that didn't know IndyCar was testing that day, that was their first reminder that IndyCar was back.
Pretty. And you know what? They tagged me in it for like, to do the share post, and I posted it on mine. So I don't care. You know what?
You did.
If it's embarrassing, I might as well go, own it and just fully go the way.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's awesome. It did look like content day. It was a lot of fun this year. The test looked like it was fun. I saw a stat that between you and your new teammate, you guys put up the most laps at Thermal this weekend, which is always good to see and good to hear. Speaking of your teammate, I mentioned it at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the episode, quirked up white boy racing, which was something I saw on Twitter. I think I quote tweeted it, quirked up white boy racing with Indy Boy Autosport. Because, as you know, Stingray, Rob, we're good friends with him. He's been on the show a couple times. How have you guys clicked so far this season?
It's been great. We've gotten along really well. Content day was definitely fun. Although busy, we couldn't really talk too much, but during lunch we talked, and it was good, making jokes here and there. But so we were friendly right off the bat. Driving wise, which is the main thing, is our driving styles are very, very similar. I mean, almost the same, really. So setup wise, it's so good. We can easily test different items and different setups and just choose off of each other. so we can get double the information from each practice session. So far so good though. It's I think it's gonna be a really good season for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's really good to hear. I mean, just talking to Stingray last season, he was one of those guys. It's like I think this is my time to move up, and so it was really nice to see him get that last seat. I do think you might be a little bit sad that you don't get to race with your good buddy Takuma Sato anymore this season, but he'll still be out there on the track. Did you guys ever go out and get sushi? I know sushi is one of your favorite foods.
No, I wanted to so badly, but the thing was I was gonna go to Japan and go have sushi with him in the off season, and I really wanted to do that. I was down to do that, but obviously the way with the whole deal with Dale and then him going separate ways, then at that point we kind of lost that touch to do that. But unfortunately he's not with us, and that's obviously really sad. I really enjoyed having him as a teammate. He definitely helped me so much for my rookie season, but also unfortunately he is going to be back on the ovals, and that really sucks because he is like really good. So, and now although I was going against him before, it was, we had the teammate thing, so it's like now he's not going to be nice to me anymore. So it's going to be really tough now.
He's going to pull the elbows
ovals,
out.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he will be pulling those elbows out. Just get you out of there. Speaking of ovals, David, we really saw a lot of success from you this season on the ovals. Obviously, there was a lot of success on the road courses as well, and the street courses, but I feel like Gateway is when everyone kind of opened their eyes to the Daivd Malukas mania experience. How high is Gateway like circled? Is that number one on your list this year, next to like Iowa and Texas?
For sure. Yeah, we have. I mean, yeah, that race was amazing. What an experience from start to finish. I've always had good experiences at Gateway before, so I always look forward to it. Most especially now. And Iowa. I also really enjoyed Iowa. I feel like we have a very good oval car off of what we've had from last year, and I think if we can build on from it, I think we're gonna be pretty spiced up. So, but yeah, Gateway, it's definitely like my number one like go-to. Like, yes, this is the one.
If you would have had one more lap, could you have gotten your bus, bro?
Ooh.
I was thinking about asking how many laps do you think it would have taken?
Yeah,
I think 2, but it could have been done in 1, depending on how crazy I would have gone for it. Because I mean, they were still very quick, but the way the lap traffic was, 2 laps for sure. Because the lap traffic, he would have caught the next set on that second lap, and I definitely would have been able to get around him. But possibly that last lap, I would have done maybe something really stupid in 3 and 4, but. Everything happens for a reason, so that's probably why I didn't get one more lap, is because I would have done something stupid.
Speaking of Joseph, we really saw a hilarious Bus Bros episode when you joined Scott and Joseph on the show. What was that experience like, just getting to hang out with 2 of the most popular drivers in the sport?
Yeah, that was very cool. They are so funny and just so easy to get along with, and they kind of just brought me in, and I was expecting, because I was also a Bus Bro viewer, so I was expecting, like some structure and a format, and then you come at this time and do this time, and so it's like kind of like that was a set time and date, and then that time came, and I was like, hey, so like what's going on, like what are we doing? And they're like, oh yeah, right, so like just come over here, and then we just went there, and they're like, okay, so what do we do? Yeah, I don't know, let's just set up right here, and then we just set up in the middle of the forest somewhere, like, yeah, and then they just start going off. Like, it was very like an unstructured kind of just like go with the flow type of experience, which kind of like caught me by surprise, but I think is also why their content is so good. But yeah, no, it was really fun. They make everything on the spot, like all their advertisements that they kind of do, like the little funny advertisements for their merch store or whatever. They literally make that within 2 seconds and just do it one take, Andy, and just get it done, and like just perfect right off the bat. So it's pretty impressive.
True professionals, and like getting to be out there with the fans. I know you got to interview fans on who Daivd Malukas is, which was hilarious. Speaking of fans, I know we gave you a couple presents this season. We gave you the Indy Boys shirt. We gave you the beautiful, majestic iCarly flag. What's your favorite? What's your favorite fan gift that you got this season?
Favorite fan gift
season.
From last season, right? It was in Long Beach. So this was the coolest thing. It was during the autograph session. I have it actually just hanging here in my desktop, but it is a little replica version of me.
That's awesome.
How cool is
That's
that?
awesome.
So sick.
That is
Look.
sick.
It's got my name, the number, even has my helmet design with the Lithuanian
DM on it,
American
yeah.
flag.
Wow.
That
It
is
was
amazing.
no, it goes into amazing details. So yeah, this is just sitting with me all the time. It's like my little token now.
That is awesome. And I bet it is just a breath of fresh air because, I mean, coming into this season, I mean, there was a lot of rookies that we knew were going to draw a lot of attention from IndyCar. And it was very nice to see, like, all the fans walking around the quads, walking around the garage area, pit road that have the HMD 18 hats on.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see. And I kid you not, Dave, every store I went into, those were sold out. So
They would
like,
sell out really quickly.
They would sell out real
Like-
quick. So you definitely acquired some fandom pretty quickly in the first
We
season.
kept our eyes out just for you. We were like, we're gonna make sure that the stuff is selling, and we were like, where is it? It was selling.
It was
was
selling.
selling.
So that's really awesome. All right,
Yeah,
all right, Dan. I'll pass this one over to you.
Shoot, man. I was thinking a lot of the same questions. That's one thing that I noticed that I don't know if you did it the whole season, but people picked up on it in the second half of the season. You did a lot of karaoke just over the team radio. Has that always just been a thing, or was that just something that kind of started eventually?
So, okay, so there's a bit of backstory to this. So, in the beginning of the season, I made a bet with Ross and Alex at the time, my engineers, and I was like, I promise you, our radio is going to be featured on an IndyCar, Instagram, social media, anything. I'm gonna make it happen. And I was saying the entire season, if that stuff's recorded, I was saying the craziest stuff. I was doing everything possible to like get on there, and I wasn't getting on there. I'm like, are you sure people listen into this stuff? Like, how has nobody caught this? Like, nobody's listening to me. And I was doing all the craziest stuff. And then Gateway, obviously we had that like period of the race where everybody was doing the exact same strategy. It was very slow, it's just you had a lot of time to think about your dinner and what you're gonna have for dessert, and your mind was wandering. And so then I kind of got this song going, and I was like, all right, this is a good chance for me to say something like dumb or like funny so that maybe I can get going. But it kind of just came on the spot, and then next thing you know, I start singing, and I was like, well, they're kind of all just sitting and telling me, like, yeah, I know this is a bit annoying, but we still have, a lot of laps to go. So I was like, I'm gonna sing for him, And I was like, since I was going in the circle, the song just came in my head. I was like, you spin me right round. So then I go on, I start singing it, and it boosted everybody's moods up, And then Pancho was like, well, if you're singing and it's so easy, let's go do something. And I was like, whoa, Pancho, okay, come on, we have a strategy.
The best part of the whole thing I felt like was like how IndyCar just is like it posted like you just overtaking all these drivers, and then just like that audio in the background. It's like it's like me trying to struggle like going around the track. Daivd Malukas just briskly overtaking.
Yeah, no, but it was good. We were trying to do a lot of funny things, but to be fair, kind of gave up towards that second half of the season, and then at that point it was kind of just me just doing that stuff like I normally do. But at that time I was just like, well, I'm gonna put it on the button and push the radio. But I mean, these thoughts go through my head during a normal race all the time. It's just I'm not on the radio saying it. So there's one thing, my mind wanders during a race.
I'm now just imagining that during every race, you're just fighting back the intrusive thoughts to just say something stupid.
Yes, that is mostly what happens. Or I mean, sometimes my mind will wander. It's normally for like dinner. It wanders so much for like food that like I kind of need to like snap out of it. Okay, I need to focus. Like I have daily in front. Like what's happening around me. Yeah.
So all I'm hearing is I think we got a video idea, boys. Carpool karaoke with Daivd Malukas. I think we gotta make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now,
In the IndyCar, in the two-seater.
in the two
We start
That'd
with
be
the
sick.
iCarly theme song.
What would be funny is that I know you see if we like went around like IMS and like we're in like those like the minivans that you take, or like the Camaros that they take around the track. That's how you do the carpool karaoke. That would be funny.
That would
That's-
be cool. Yeah.
Dude, we got to put that on the list for May.
We
That's
gotta
like-
try
It's
it.
going on the bucket list.
That's funny.
I'm adding it to the notepad right now.
He said we're writing it down.
We've got to get that on the list next to get Miranda Cosgrove to the Indy 500.
Yes, that has
Yes,
to happen.
please.
I don't know how. I don't know how we make that happen. I don't know how we make that happen, but it
I don't
has
know.
to at
We
some
need
point.
to try.
Yeah, try our
That
hardest.
is lit. She waves the green flag. Just like as she's waving the green flag, you just wave.
Yeah,
My inspiration.
I'm a big fan. I
Dude, she's
plug
waving
Will.
the green flag and also doing like the little thumbs up thingy.
It's it's like, you know how like some drivers like they have like they come out with their flags, like Pato normally comes out with the Mexican
Oh my
flag.
gosh.
Dave comes out with
Oh,
the Carly flag.
yeah,
That'd be so
that would be
sick.
great.
I don't know
so
if that'd be
sick.
like a slap in the face to Lithuania at all, but like
Oh
that,
yeah, yeah. It would not be great, but
I think Twitter would be so confused.
They would not know where this iCarly flag is.
No.
But
All
We
right,
would have to
all right.
answer so many questions.
So many. That would be crazy during media day. Speaking of media day, do you ever get tired of answering the same questions by some reporters? And I heard that during Nashville that like some drivers were getting angry because they just felt like they were getting asked the same questions. Did you experience that all last season?
yeah. I mean, yeah, it happens. You know, a good amount of the times you get the same questions, especially if like Gateway. It's the same questions about the
Mhm.
result and being a rookie, and so all the questions come. But I don't know. I don't mind it. I just think it just helps me like practice to get different answers and to
Okay.
move things around, and then maybe think a little bit more because I kind of already know what to say. So then I can think of like using big words so I sound really cool and intelligent.
yeah. I get it.
How are
That
you
just
feeling
hit
about
me.
this season? Exuberant.
Yeah, just
Extinguished.
Distinguished.
All right, Jay, you got anything?
But David, so the first question I asked you when you came on our show last year, I think it was a little bit after your first ever IndyCar test as well. So like, how was your training regimen changed now that you have a full season?
So now I actually know what I really need to work on.
Yeah, because I remember you said you just did like your neck because you said your neck and your butt hurt a lot. So
Yeah, so this is kind of the same thing. I did the thermal test and I couldn't really move my neck or my butt, my glutes. It's kind of the same thing. But for the oval stuff, I realized my lats and part of shoulders, a little bit of shoulders and lats is also kind of there. But realistically, I was working out the right things, just not enough. So this time I kind of just ampled up on neck workouts. I'm doing so many weird things, especially when you go to a gym. People are looking at me like, "What is this guy doing?" Like you're leaning off of a bench with a weight plate.
yeah,
You
you're
look
like,
really
dude, I'm an
stupid.
IndyCar driver. I'm an IndyCar driver. Leave me alone.
Yeah, so people just look at me and laugh, and I'm like, "It's this. This is doing something, guys. I'm telling you."
It's part of the
I thought
grind.
this was a
It's part of the
judgment-free
grind.
zone.
Yeah, exactly. But also for the glutes, it's just a lot of lunges, a lot more, a lot heavier, more endurance as well, and just cardio. Like the races are so long, like so long. Man, the first couple races of last season, it was tough for me. I was like, wow, this is a new experience. So did lot different training, running, kind of I'd say like high interval training, something just to keep my heart rate pretty high. It's tough to keep it high as in racing because your heart rate is partly so high because of the adrenaline rush and the stress and the nerves of everything, and also on top of the physicality when in my basement or outside when I'm running, I don't have that adrenaline rush because I'm just running.
Yeah.
Unless if I listen to the iCarly theme song in like a hardstyle remix, we're pumping like it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, roughly the same.
Sick. Nice. So did you get any advice from this past season that really struck out to you? And like, who was it and who gave you that certain bit of advice?
Ooh, that is a good question. So the best advice I got was actually from Takuma, and he told me if you have if something goes wrong in the race, like let's say something happened and now all of a sudden you're like in the back of back of the field, back of the pack. Let's say an oval road course, but you're still going. It's just now you're pretty far away from anywhere being there. Normally, if it's like from any previous racing I've done in the past from the Road to Indy series, it's kind of like that's it, you're done. You're not going to be able to come back up. So Takuma always told me that you never give up because there is always a chance in IndyCar, especially if you get a yellow, you could get the lap back. There's so many different instances that can happen. Yeah. I mean, even if you look at the beginning of the Gateway race, from what I remember, I don't recall being, in a great place, but I remember towards the end of the race, things kind of just started to click together, and we just kept pushing, and then next thing you know, we ended up being in that position. So that's the one thing I realized with IndyCar. There's no matter what position you're in at what time, there's always a chance that you still have a chance to win it. Although it is very tough. I think IndyCar is probably the toughest series to win a race. It is so hard. Yeah, everything has to go your way. Like it is very hard. But yeah, there's always a chance.
Yeah. Interesting.
And speaking of, there's always a chance. We see with the increasing popularity of the SRX series, the Superstar Racing Experience, we keep seeing IndyCar drivers coming over, making some one-off starts. We see drivers going to the Cup Series. I mean, we're seeing drivers like Connor Daly and Elio Castroneves always teasing starts in the NASCAR Cup Series. Joseph Newgarden, Tony Kanaan, Jimmy Johnson, all making starts in the SRX series. When are we going to see Dave in a stock car? When's that going to happen? Will it happen?
Listen, I would love to. I'm just waiting for the right offer to come, and when it comes, I'll definitely take it with full arms and legs. I'll gritty to that car. I will do whatever I need to. I would love to do it. I'm just waiting for the right offer to come, and haven't received any. So let this be a shout out. I am ready. I am waiting. I am here.
Sign him up.
Are you please entertained?
Put this man behind the wheel.
All right, Dave. And to close the little interview out, we got a fun game we like to play on the show called This or That. I'm gonna ask you a couple this or that questions, and then you are going to just answer them as quickly as you can. So, like if I say cats or dogs, you just immediately first one that comes to your head. All right.
All right.
So we got white fire suits or black fire suits?
Black.
There you go. That's the right answer there. Would you rather run the same livery all season or have a different livery each race?
Same.
Same livery. Okay.
Yes.
Road courses or ovals?
Ovals. But if you would have asked me that last season, I think it would have been different. But after now, yeah, definitely ovals.
Yeah, I remember you were scared about ovals last year.
I was, yes. But we're good now.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
All right. And then my last one, sushi or ramen?
Sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw me scuffing down that sushi bowl like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All right. That's
we do
awesome.
have a chat question though.
We have a chat question.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Alex Williams says, or he asked, David said that he's seen all of the Clone Wars series. What favorite season or individual arc / episode is your favorite?
Oh man, why are you going so in the specifics? Oh man. Oh, it's been so long. Oh boy. Okay, well, I can't really remember things right off the bat, but I do remember the ending where he ended up seeing when he came back as Darth Vader and ended up seeing his Padawans like gear, there, and that kind of moment was definitely very sentimental, definitely a very highlight. But man, through the actual bit, I can't remember. Like there's so many. I wouldn't be able to pick off the spot. You kind of got me off the spot there.
Who's your favorite character though?
I don't want to be basic. Let me think of a cool character that's in the
Anakin
series.
Skywalker.
Yeah, I don't want to say Anakin or like Obi-Wan.
And while you're thinking, Chase Elliott 501st in the chat says that he agrees that his favorite arc is the season 7 finale. So you're not alone there.
I'm telling you, it was a special one. Hold on, I'm looking at the characters right now.
He said, I'm really trying. He's really
this
trying.
Isn't cheating. I'm telling you. Just give me. It's been so long. I haven't seen this in like a year. Man. I don't know. I know a lot of people like Jar Jar Binks. I don't really like his whole ordeal there. Um, I like Cad Bane. When he had the little
That's
episodes with
valid.
him, and
That's
he was kind
valid.
of the enemy for those episodes.
Mhm.
I enjoyed those. Those were good.
It's a good answer. That is a good answer. And, I think that is the time that we have for today. So, Dave, really quick, go ahead, shout out everything that you want to. Shout out the merch. I know there's a bunch of merch on HMD's website of your stuff. Go ahead, do your quick
Oh
plug.
boy. Oh yeah, no, just wait. We are actually working on our own DM merch store
Woo!
and here we're gonna try to get everything as much as possible from a cup or like a cup for your cup.
A cup for your cup. A cup for your
I
cup.
don't know.
He what in his
Sweaters,
cup?
shirts, jackets, pants. I mean, anything. We're gonna try to go off with it and try to make it very cool. I'm gonna be very into it, trying to get all the clothes. Shout out obviously socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all David Malukas or Malukas David. Very easy to find. And yeah, and if you see my gritty video, just skip it.
Just
There you go. Those are my shout outs.
That's
Nice,
awesome.
nice.
All right. Well, Dave, thanks so much for joining the show. Always a pleasure to have you on. Also, guys, make sure you guys check out. He does a show with Mike Yoakum on Pit Lane Parlay. So he's on there once a month, and so whenever those go live, go ahead and check those out. But I guess so. That's all that we got for the day, Mr. Malukas. As a pleasure, as always. Have a good rest of your day, man.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thanks
Keep
for
up the
coming on.
karaoke.
Yeah. All right. How about you guys say we go into some motorsport media? Let's go to NASCAR.
Let's do it.
Let's get it, Tristan.
All right, motorsport media time. Now this is big, okay? This is really big news. Todd Gilliland is not going to be full-time at front
That's
row in
stupid.
2020.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
okay, this guy just put the 38 car in the LA crash, okay?
LA
he
crash.
he just put that 38 car in the crash. Did he run out of gas and wasn't able to finish the race? Yes. So did his teammate Michael McDowell. I don't know if it's for sponsorship. I don't know really what it's for, but he's not going to be full-time in 2023.
That's so annoying.
What is your
really
guys'
annoying.
opinion on this?
I find it personally really annoying for it's no reason. Todd Gilliland is probably the best driver that car has seen in a long time, and I
Facts.
don't understand
you,
this.
you go back and think about it, like John Hunter Nemechek, then you go to
That's about the only other driver I can say. is
Anthony
John-
Alfredo did it for a
Alfredo,
season.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Eh.
You say
It's-
for Alfredo?
I like Alfredo, but he didn't really do anything in the 38.
Like the pasta or fast pasta?
Oh, I like the pasta.
He said
Uh,
both. Yeah, no.
I don't know. I think it's a weird decision. I get where it's coming from because obviously Zane Smith is their guy of the future. I get it. Believe me. But they are stuck in this weird cycle of putting people in the seat way too early just because of sponsorship reasons or whatever. And then as soon as they get their footing, they're like, maybe not. And then they pull them out. The cycle is still going. And I really just don't think it was necessary this time.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It was not necessary at all.
And we've started to see that 38 car be a rotation of drivers that weren't Cup ready. Okay, you go back to 2019, right? You put Matt Tifft in that car.
Mm-hmm.
Then John Hunter Nemechek, then Anthony Alfredo. All three of those drivers, in my opinion, were not Cup ready. And then you do last season with Todd Gilliland. He has a fairly decent season for the car that he's driving. I believe he finishes 28th in points, gets his first career top 5 at a race we were at in the Indy Road Course. And just did really well in the Clash. It was I don't know.
I'm gonna
It's
throw out
stupid, dude.
I'm gonna
It's
throw out a
stupid.
hot take for you guys.
What's the hot take?
So maybe this is like too early to tell. Maybe it's not a good prediction. All I'm saying, Stuart Haas is going to need some drivers next year.
I mean, we talked about this last season. I said that I want Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland on SHR. But if I'm Todd Gilliland right now, he said he's going to try his best to find a seat for these 5 races that he's not going to be at. The next one is going to be Phoenix. He's not going to be at Phoenix, Talladega, I believe Martinsville. There's a couple of these. I'm calling Roger Penske, and I'm trying to see if I can get that 33 car. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I saw it on Twitter, and I'm like, that's perfect. That is a good
would it be
seat.
the 33? Because RCR is doing part-time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Then the O2, maybe. I don't know.
Something like that,
That's a number that they own.
Mhm.
Listen, I don't know why we're talking about this, but the guy that's going to be replacing him in those 5 races is going to be Zane Smith. I'm assuming it's for sponsorship, but if it is for sponsorship, Todd Gilliland has a lot of sponsorship.
Right.
Why can't you just put Michael McDowell, ask for I don't know, like freight auctions to do another race and give him Love's travel stop for a race or something like that? I don't know. It's interesting to me, and I personally don't get it. But yeah, happy that Zane Smith is getting an opportunity, but not happy that this is taking away from a driver that is extremely talented and does have a future. I'm assuming playoff career in the Cup Series.
People need to listen to what you're saying because you're a Front Row Motorsports stan.
I am a Front Row Motorsports fan.
You're a Zane Smith.
I am a Zane Smith. I am a Zane Smith.
You're even hesitant on this move.
I'm hesitant on it because one, I don't want to see Zane Smith rush to the Cup Series. He is one of my top 5 guys in NASCAR right now, with AJ Allmendinger being number 1. You got Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, and then I would put Zane Smith there. I would put these guys there. It's rough, and I don't want to see Zane Smith get rushed to the Cup Series like this, and I have a feeling it's going to happen. Which
trying to
is
take the Todd father away from us.
Yeah. In the comment in the chat, it's Chase Elliott 501st says, "Yeah, I can't agree. Zane is my favorite truck driver." Yeah, I get it. I get that you would want to see him in the Cup Series, but we've seen drivers get rushed before, so I get where you're coming from, 501st, but I don't know. I just kind of want Zane to be developed well. All right, next thing we got
opportunities too.
Yeah, there are.
You didn't need to take out one driver for 5 or 6 races when you're already doing a one-off with the 500. Just do it for 2 or 3 more races.
Speaking of one-offs with the 500s, we mentioned this in our interview just now. Connor Daly's going to be making his Daytona 500 debut for the Money Team.
Sick.
So that is another open car. We are now up to 6 open cars, which means 2 of these bad boys are going home. So we have Chandler Smith, Zane Smith. We got
Jimmy.
We got Jimmy. So Chandler Smith, Zane Smith, Jimmy, Travis Pastrana is going to make an attempt. Connor Daly is going to make an attempt. And then I'm missing one, and I know I'm missing one. Oh, it's Austin Hill. Those are the 6 open drivers. I don't think we'll see any more. 2 of these guys are going home. Who's going home? I'm going to start this one with Daniel.
Who of them are going home? Listen, I think as much as I wanted to make it, I don't want to bank on Connor Daly making it.
Mm-hmm. He's never raced at a super speedway before. And so I think this would be kind of rough. You did race at the Indy Road Course. Very poor performance there, but
actually, you know what?
Or at the Roval.
No, I'm gonna say Connor Daly makes it because I think Travis Pastrana is not getting in.
I will agree with you on that. I don't believe Travis Pastrana.
And as much as Travis Pastrana and Connor Daly would be the 2 easy ones, I'm gonna go hot take. This hurts me because you guys know this is my guy. No,
Chandler Smith?
I don't think Chandler Smith is gonna make it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust Coley with 3 cars in Cup yet.
I'll go to. I mean, they did have a very good showing with Justin Haley at the Clash for the second year.
Yeah, but he did well at the Clash.
It's true.
The Clash isn't a good
Hey, listen.
Show for who's actually.
Justin Haley had you thinking after the Clash that he was making a playoff run. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because I thought he'd win a super speedway.
Yeah. Hey. All right, go ahead, Jay. Who's not making the 500?
I'm going with Travis Pastrana, and I gotta go with Zane Smith not making it. Them two. Those are my two picks. I just think Travis Pastrana, they're not having practice for the 500 or anything, and he's not. I think actually I seen that he's running the Truck Series race. So I mean, there's that, but when he goes to qualify, it's gonna be completely different. So
Yeah,
it's
just
not
not the
gonna
same.
be similar, and I just don't think he's gonna get a good start to his qualifying run, and it's just gonna go downhill. And Zane Smith, I just think Zane Smith because the first time trying to go for a 500. Not saying he's not worthy of it. I'm just saying I just don't think that front row car may not get in on speed. But I mean, it's a front row car. We've seen front row cars do good at super speedways in the past, so I wouldn't be upset.
Here's my two locks. Okay, I think Jimmy Johnson's making the Daytona 500.
I do too.
I think he could be a pole pick, honestly.
There's no way that I don't think Jimmy doesn't make the 500 unless he crashes in his dual race. But I think that Jimmy is probably going to get in on speed during qualifying. The second guy who I think is a lock is Austin Hill. And it's just because that 62 program has such a good super speedway program.
Yeah.
You're backed by a great sponsorship with Bennett, which means that there's going to be more money getting brought into that program, which means more money, more speed. And Austin Hill is one of the top super speedway drivers in NASCAR, and
Daytona
no one
winner,
can tell
by
me
the
different.
way.
Daytona winner, by the way, and multiple time Daytona winner, by the way. He is going to be up front, and I think that he's going to make the 500. So those are my two locks. I don't think Travis Pastrana is going to make the Daytona 500. So I agree with you on that. And I don't think Connor Daly is going to make the Daytona 500. And that pains me to say.
Really?
We're Connor
IndyCar
Daly
fan.
truthers, bro.
As an
No,
IndyCar fan,
bro.
I think Travis Pastrana and Connor Daly are going to be the guys that are going home after the Daytona duels on Thursday. Those are
You
my.
really think Connor won't make it?
I don't think Connor's going to make it.
What?
The thing that sucks is that I really want Connor to make it because I want Connor to be in NASCAR after he's done with IndyCar, but I don't see it happening, which really sucks because I really like Connor,
Dang, man.
friend of the show. We just it's just rough, and I just absolutely babbed my headphones, which is awesome.
I was skeptical of it, but then I saw the livery and I was like, yeah, he's making the show.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't
It's
like about
gold,
it is
bro.
the only thing I don't like about it is the QR on the
But
hood.
they've been really pushing that in their NASCAR starts, though. Because
Yeah,
they
that's
did
true.
that on the first one. I think it was just on the side, or it was
My
smaller on the
favorite
front.
QR on the car of all time was when Parker Kligerman had the fast car, and that QR brought
Yeah.
you to a $1 hoodie. I still have that hoodie, by the way.
Oh, I'm so mad. The website crashed when I was trying to get mine, dude.
Mhm. Well, it's because I think they had like 1 million people click the link like all
Yeah.
at the same time.
It's
I
crazy.
still don't know how I got mine.
And with that,
All
the brand's
right.
discontinued.
And then my last little thing, we don't really have to talk about it, but I do have to mention it. News came out today that Kyle Busch was arrested in Mexico over the summer due to a handgun being found in his bag. I don't really know all the details about it, so I don't really want to talk about it, but just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention so you guys know. We're not really going to talk about it. We're going to actually transition into our favorite IndyCar boy is going to talk to us about the IndyCar news.
Favorite IndyCar boy. You guys like me more than David. Wow. No, but over on the IndyCar side, still kind of like dry news-wise, because obviously we're waiting for the season to start. The whole roster's filled up. But there is one big thing. The Indy 500 is no longer a double points paying race.
Yeah, what is
I like
this?
that. I like that.
What is this
And
tomfoolery?
we'll talk about it. But I feel like most of the like general consensus is that this is a good move. I think it's a good move. And Jay, you said you think it's a good move. Tristan, you seem to have a little bit of a negative reaction to this. I want to hear your perspective first.
The Indy 500 is an event that there should be double points. This race is incredible, and I like that it was given double points. Sure, I like Marcus Ericsson, and so that win put him in the Listen, no, but like you go back and you think about, however, this race can screw some drivers. Rinus VeeKay, this race ruined his season last year because of the double points. When drivers are poor at the 500, it goes to their season and it screws them completely. So I see where it's coming from, but man, I like double points. I like it a lot, and it is sometimes it's an equalizer for the season.
Well, keep in mind, I do think they are keeping points for qualifying for the 500, which
Okay,
that is a big part. That wasn't what made it double points in the first place. So I think it's a good move. I'll let Jay speak before I get my thoughts out. Although I'm sure we'll have some similar points.
Yeah. Well, I personally I like the move because like I like them taking away the double points. I just think like I like Tristan's point that well, I thought of a point as Tristan was saying his point on the Rinus VeeKay and him messing up. Yes, the Indy 500 is the biggest race of the season, and maybe in a way it should be double points, but at the same time, like only one person is really gonna benefit from those double points if you think about it. And that's what I think is kind of dumb with it. Like, I think the last race of the season, Laguna Seca, whatever it's going to be this season, I don't know if it's Laguna Seca again or not, but because it changes all the time. But
I'll do a quick little fact check while you're doing your point.
But like I think the last race of the season should be double points because I think that would draw a lot more entertainment than the 500.
Because they're not doing that anymore. They stopped doing that after. They didn't do it last year.
Really?
I thought that they did, and then like I remember during the broadcast they said something about how they weren't.
I would trust the IndyCar experts as we call them.
No, I'm not denouncing him. I just didn't know that. I thought it was double points last year.
And you're using that Malukas terminology.
The Malukas terminology. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
The finale is Grand Prix Monterey. That's Laguna Seca. Right?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. Oh, wow. I did not know they took double points. Okay.
I believe they did because I remember we were really confident about it, and then I just remember I just don't remember it being
like
a factor.
Double points for the finale.
Right. That changes my opinion. Keep the double points for the Indy 500.
Thank you. Thank you.
That 1 point alone.
On the island here.
That 1 point alone changed my whole opinion.
Okay. Like I'm mixed about it. I get why it can be good, but at the same time, my main point kind of has to deal with it can make or break a season. Rinus VeeKay should have been higher in points than he was, but he crashed out very early in the 500. That's
he also
for
qualified
the rest of the season.
Third. He qualified front row.
And I think that taking away the double points, it will allow and it will motivate drivers to kind of be more aggressive, because now taking those risks, there's more reward to the risk. Yeah, you can still crash out, but it's not going to cost you 200 points.
However, also the double points helped some drivers that are mainly oval focusing drivers. I mean, Pato Award, one of the most popular drivers in the sport. If it wasn't for the Indy 500, he probably would have finished bottom, like maybe like in the teens in points. Because of the Indy 500, he finished sixth. Without that start, his season kind of isn't championship contention.
Another point to that, Tristan, I know you're not gonna like this take. You're not gonna like this take. I'm just gonna say it. Marcus Ericsson shouldn't have been in the championship picture last year.
You're not wrong.
Just because of his Indy 500.
You're not wrong. Marcus Ericsson
love the guy.
was in the
love the driver.
I love
He's
Marcus
so
Ericsson
talented.
too. But he is a very talented driver who I think is actually a future champion at IndyCar. But he should not have been in contention for as long as he was.
Yeah, because he was in the contention till like the second to last race, right?
He was in contention till the last race of the season.
Was he still on the finale?
The championship came down to him.
It
came down to him, Scott McLaughlin, Scott Dixon, Joseph Newgarden, and the guy who ended up winning the championship, and Will Power. I forgot who won the championship.
And Pato.
Pato, Felix, and Pelot were eliminated the week prior. I remember.
Wait, I think Pelot was in the last.
I can't remember. I can't go back and think about that.
Because it was between Power and Pelot, I thought, for the championship at the end. Because I'm Am I tripping?
No, I don't. It was a weird finale. That's about all we can say. It was a weird finale.
I don't know.
But you shouldn't have drivers that have like a solid, consistent season that happen to win the Indy 500. Well, yes, big deal. They should get rewarded for that. I think maybe they should have more points. Like,
Yeah.
maybe because if you win a race, it's what is it like 30 something points?
I think it's 25 or 26.
Yeah.
It's 25 or 26.
I think you maybe
points.
buff the Indy
There's that
500
F1.
points.
Am I
you're
bugging?
thinking
The
of
F1 is
F1.
like 1 through 10, I thought.
Okay.
No,
No,
F1
because
is
F1 is
26.
25.
F1's
26.
25 plus 1 for 26.
Oh shoot.
I'm pretty sure IndyCar's 100 points per win.
Let's see.
While we're
I'm gonna double. We're just going through all the rules.
while Daniel's
today.
looking
I
at
don't know.
that,
I guess
let's
I
go
don't
ahead
know.
and bring up something else. Let's bring up the driver who we think is going to have the most inconsistent season in IndyCar this season, and we'll do it for IndyCar, and we'll also do it for Indy Next. How about that? Let's bring some Indy Next terminology in here. For me personally, for IndyCar this season, a driver who I think that is hyped up to have a good season, that's not gonna have an incredible one. I'm going Alexander Rossi. And it's because it's a new team. Yes, that 7 car is a championship car. But I feel like the transition is going to be a little bit more difficult for Alex. So he's going to be the driver that I don't think he'll get a win this year. He's going to be my driver that I feel like is not as consistent. And then for driver that I think that's going to go into Indy Next with a lot of confidence and isn't maybe going to do as hot this season is Josh Pearson. And I think that those are my 2 picks. I think Josh Pearson is going to be good. I don't think he's going to be great. I don't think we'll see like championship contention from him. So, Jay, who do you think?
You know what? This is going to be a hot take. But I'm going to go with Kirkwood.
Kyle
in the
Kirkwood.
20 in the 27
Really?
this season. Yeah, in the 27 this season. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was Rossi too at the same time, but I just see Kirkwood kind of being on a streaky scale, just as Rossi was. I'm not gonna lie to you. But for my Indy NXT, let me look at the drivers here. I'm gonna have to go with. I think a lot of people are looking at Jamie Chadwick a lot, especially being at Andretti Autosport.
Yeah.
I mean,
Daniel, who you?
that's my personal opinion, but I don't know. She's pretty good though.
We'll see. I don't know if she gets a win this season, but she should definitely be up front.
Yeah.
Right. I cannot find in the rules how many points it is. The app is being a little wacky right now.
Should have asked our good buddy while he was on here just not so long ago.
I'm looking through the drivers. Someone I think is gonna have maybe not like a bad season, but just disappointing season. I feel like we're gonna see some people not necessarily lose their entire touch, but kind of like start to show a little bit of their age. I'm gonna go with the reigning champion, Will
Oh
Power.
my God, are you serious?
I don't think he's gonna necessarily be like out of the top 10. I don't think he's gonna be awful.
Okay, you're wrong. I'm sorry. That's a bad. I don't like that take.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't think- yeah.
I think Will Power could go out and win the championship again.
Again,
Like,
I think that's also very possible. Remember, last year I thought Newgarden was gonna take a dip. That didn't happen. Like it's all speculation. And Will Power could honestly go out there and keep doing what he's doing until he's 50.
Okay, it's 50 points for winning an IndyCar. That's what I thought it was. I said that earlier because it's double that for the 500, which you get 100 points for.
Yeah, I don't know if it should be like double, but maybe if it was like 65, 70.
Second
do
place.
you know who else
early.
Heike could have a bad season this year, or like not like bad, but like kind of like what he did last year? I'm sorry, Daniel. Colton Herta. I don't think Colton
Listen,
Herta is
Andretti was just not great last year. I don't know how
You're
much
not
of it,
wrong,
like
but
it was
I
it was
mean,
a whole it was a whole
Herta,
thing.
I mean, you think about it though, they did sweep the Indy Road Course last season. but that was the only thing they swept. I mean, there was the absolute chaos that was Mid-Ohio for that team. Grosjean's still going winless in his career. Devlin with a heck of a season.
It was a rookie season.
It was, yeah.
It was a rookie season.
Yeah.
We'll see. I will say that livery is a little bit rough. Like, listen, like, as much as I like Colton Herta, last season kind of, like, he took a dip for
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Like, he declined a little bit last season. And I don't know if it was the distractions for F1, but now that he has this massive contract and that IndyCar is no longer a like F1 supporting series, or like you can't get F1 points now, or he can't at least. He should be better this season, as he is the number one guy there.
I think I'm just more expecting, with all these younger guys coming in, I'm expecting the older guard to start retiring. So my main pick's Will Power. Again, I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. I just know it will eventually. So I'm just wondering if this is the year. Same thing goes for Scott Dixon. But we say that every year, and he continues to just be as consistent as ever.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't necessarily know if I think they're going to, like, be last in points. I'm just waiting for when that dip starts to happen. Because every time we think it's there, it hasn't happened. And then, let's see, Indy next. I'm gonna go one that I don't think people are talking about enough. I know last year when it was announced that he was going to race here, I said he could be a dark horse to win the championship, but I think Kiffin Simpson might have a rough year.
Ooh, Kiffin Simpson. I could see it.
It'll be interesting to see.
Listen, as Kiffin Simpson is, I mean, he just came off that Rolex 24. He was one of the only Indy Lights guys in the Rolex 24, like the actual one. I could see it. I don't want it to be that because I like.
Yeah,
Kiffin.
I don't want it to be either. I think he's really good. I think his Ganassi connections are going to help him out in the future. I think he is a really young, promising driver. I just don't know if this year will be his year or not. I don't know. It's all speculation. It's all just complete shots in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly just a hot take. You never know. Yeah. I don't want to see it happen, but I could see it happen.
That's fair.
All right, Jay, let's go ahead transition, man. We got some more liveries to discuss.
All right. I got some other news other than just liveries, though. But we can talk about the liveries first. So Red Bull, Williams, Alfa Romeo, all three dropped their liveries over the past weekend. So Red Bull's was exactly the same, and I sat through an hour just to watch it be the same livery.
I don't know why you tuned in,
I'm really
man.
upset. I'm really upset. I know. Because they hyped it up on like Twitter and stuff, saying, "Oh, blank canvas, like they're gonna have a brand new like livery this season." I was like, "Oh, dude, they're gonna have a different livery finally." So I watched the whole thing, and it was the same livery, and it really. Screw you, Daniel. But yeah. And then Williams did the complete opposite because they had the same livery, right? But they put their livery right at the beginning of the reveal, and then not only did they talk to actual racing drivers, they talked to the actual drivers as well. And they even like went as far as talking to Jamie Chadwick, who is now in Indy NXT. Like, that's pretty cool. Like like Williams perfectly represented the way a car reveal should be done, because they immediately showed the car knowing it was going to be the same. They didn't make me sit through an hour before they revealed the car and then hear skiers and fencers talk about their sport and how much it means to Red Bull, I guess. I don't know. Like, it was weird. And then Alfa Romeo dropped their scheme this morning. Oh my God.
And they accidentally let it leak before they were meant to announce it, because it was on the screen in the background.
If we're gonna rank the scheme so far this season, just based on pure sexiness, Alfa Romeo takes the cake.
Alfa Romeo
it is beautiful.
I go
and
Alfa Romeo.
I do find it
Williams.
interesting. I do find it a little funny. They've got those little like grates on the floor. You know, that's completely just so Bottas can fight off George Russell.
Shred his tire.
Yeah.
No, I'm going Alfa Romeo, Williams, Haas, Red Bull for scheme so far.
Yeah. Like Red Bull scheme, while it is beautiful,
I mean, yeah, I like the scheme. It
it's
just pisses me
just
off it's
I've
the same.
seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would actually
Um,
put Haas above Williams as much as I love Williams' scheme, just because Haas tried something different too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
for me personally, I think Alfa Romeo 1, Williams 2, and you guys might hate me, but I'm going Red Bull over Haas.
Oh my god.
You're
Listen,
going Haas
listen,
last?
listen.
Wow.
I don't hate the Haas one.
Haas
Just out of the
last, like, how
four,
they were in
out of the four that we
2021.
have, we only have 4. Keep in mind, it just happens to be last for now.
I put Haas above Williams because of last season. Just because that's what it was last season. Thank you.
I wouldn't feel wrong
Love you, Nick Latifi.
putting Haas over Red Bull, but think about Red Bull. I get you guys are saying they didn't change it, so that's why you guys have it low. To me, I feel like that Red Bull livery it's kind of a modern classic. I'm annoyed that they're not changing it up a little bit, but I understand why. In the 90s, they didn't change up schemes. That McLaren scheme
McLaren
is
the same
the
scheme
most
for
iconic scheme
27
ever, and they
years,
ran
yeah.
that for 20 years?
Yeah.
I get it. I don't necessarily love that they're not changing it up,
I
but
can't wait for McLaren to drop my favorite scheme of the year, though, which is going to happen.
McLaren
Dude,
schemes are a make or break, bro.
That papaya is going to be gorgeous,
They're keeping the number font.
which I'm surprised about.
But
I'm also surprised that Lando isn't changing numbers.
You can't
Why
change
would he?
numbers in F1.
Well, he said he was going to change his.
You can't.
No.
Once you come in F1, that's your lifelong number. That's how it works.
Well,
in
Max
F1.
changed it. It's a joke.
Well, it's because he won.
I know.
But-
It's a joke.
Yeah. So, so going into Formula 2, or actually, let's start with Formula E before I get to the rest of my Formula 1 news. The first time ever that Formula E heads to India this weekend. So I'm definitely going to be tuning into some Formula E this weekend because I'm going to start getting into the lower series of Formula 1 to the FIA series. And congratulations and good luck to Antonio Felix da Costa this weekend, who will join the 100 race club in Formula E. So pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Formula 3, Taylor Barnard completes the Ginzer Motorsports lineup, the F3 lineup, actually, just to be a little more specific. The British driver joins the Swiss squad for his rookie season.
Swiss squad.
And actually, we completed the Formula 2 grid over the weekend. It's consisting of Dennis Hager, Jehan Daruvula, I reported on him last week, Zane Maloney, Enzo Fittipaldi, Theo Pucher, Victor Martins, Frederick Vesti, Oliver Behrman, Jack Crawford, Isaac Hajar, Ayuma Iwaza, Arthur Leclerc, Jack Doohan, Amori Cordial, Ray Nissany, Brad Benavides, Roman Stanek, Clement Novalek, Richard Verschoor, Juan Manuel Correa,
Richard Verschoor!
Juan
Our
Manuel
guy.
Correa, Kush Maini, and Ralph Bosching.
Freaking
Those
love
are-
Richard Verschoor.
Indy
Love
Boy
that man.
Autosport.
That's
Indy
Indy
guy
Boy
right there.
Autosports driver Richard
Indy Boys
Verschoor.
legend.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, we've
well,
never even had. We have to get him on the show. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Who knows?
to finish out the F1 news, F1 has extended their deal with Las Vegas to 2032.
I saw this. This
The
just
inaugural-
happened.
Yeah,
inaugural race
within 2 hours ago.
Yeah. The inaugural race will be this November as construction is underway for F1's $240 million U.S. headquarters, which will be near the Las Vegas Strip. And now it is official that Jordan. Ford will join F1 in 2026. It was kind of in the rumor mill last week when I reported on it.
Yeah.
But now it's official that Ford will join forces with Red Bull in 2026. So that's going to be cool. The FIA announced an official process for F1 applicants for teams. However, it's been noted that Liberty Media can impose additional selection criteria, which that's interesting because that's the TV people, the TV promoter, you know, every the U.S. promoter, Liberty Media. That's who promotes F1.
Right.
It's interesting they get the say rather than F1, or like they get at least a little bit of a say in this rather than F1 or the FIA. So that's kind of interesting to me. But this is a quote from the article. Despite Andretti successfully partnering with Cadillac and therefore offering the possibility of a new manufacturer, opposition remains from senior figures at Liberty Media and several teams in F1. Liberty Media is against having an American F1 team in F1. This is the market they're trying to crack, and they don't want an American team in F1.
And what's crazy is that like Logan Sargent
Haas is in F1.
Was interviewed today saying that he thinks that F1 will be more popular in America than NASCAR. Why it won't be until there is an American F1 team. There won't be.
I mean, Haas is an American F1 team, but like a true like they're gonna have.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But yeah, and McLaren announces that Mick Schumacher can also be called upon as their reserve driver in 2023 as part of their partnership with Mercedes. So, yeah. But that's pretty much all I have for F1. We don't have any predictions to do this week.
Nah, but let's go to the main screens because let's talk about the clash just a little bit. I just want to talk about the results.
Okay. Oh,
all right, guys.
You're good. Go ahead.
All right, guys. So we're back on the main screen. Let's talk about the LA Clash a little bit. I just want to go over the results. Talk about the winner, best driver of the day, should have won, Martin Truex Jr. Absolutely great. He just killed it. It's the way it needs to go. Second was Austin Dillon. Yeah, it was between him and Bubba Wallace most of the race.
I was gonna say Priest, but
Priest kind of had his engine dying, so I don't really.
Yeah, I think if his engine didn't die, he would have still won.
But Austin Dillon turns Bubba Wallace with in the final laps of the race, leading to him getting his finish in 22nd. Visibly angry.
Fear the stash.
Yeah. But let's go over the top 10. Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch is your podium. Kyle Busch's first race with RCR, he finishes third. Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick. Reddick's first race with 2311 Racing, he finishes sixth. Priest, Chastain, Hamlin, Byron is your top 10. Followed by Justin Haley, Harvick, Bell, Gregson, Briscoe, Logano, Blaney, Almirola, Suarez, Allmendinger, top 20. Then Chase Elliott, who had issues. 22nd was Bubba Wallace. 23rd, 24th was the Front Row Sports as of Todd Gilliland and Michael McDowell. Then Cindric with an engine problem, Ty Gibbs, and Eric Jones with suspension problems round out the top 27.
I just got the joke.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the LA Clash, guys. Lots of cautions. Lots and lots and lots of cautions. The first half of this race was incredible. The second half was absolutely chaos. I got bored. I honestly wanted to turn it off. But the ratings came out for it today, and the LA Clash received 15% less viewership than it did in the previous season. What does this mean? Does this mean we go back to LA next season? I think that we should go to a different track. Personally, my push is for North Wilkesboro. What are you guys thinking? What's a race that you would like? Do you want to see it back in LA or do you want to see it at a different track? We'll start with Daniel.
No, Daniel, you got it.
Oh, I think I'd like to see a different track. I'm just not sure what track yet. I don't necessarily want to see them go back to Daytona just because I think they're in a phase where they need to just experiment with things, see what sticks. Maybe do a new rotation every 2 years. Go around the country. You don't have to stick in one area. You don't have to just be on the down in Florida. You don't have to just be in California, West Coast. Try things new. Expand the new markets that you don't prioritize.
IRP.
If they had the stands, I would say try it, but I don't know, man. They don't have the stands anymore.
He said I would say try it.
I don't know. I don't have a definite solution. Maybe North Wilkesboro. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do, but I definitely think there needs to be some sort of change. I wouldn't mind going back to the Coliseum like in the future. Maybe you keep it like a 2-year rotation between like 3, 4, 5 tracks. I don't know, but
Jay,
it'll be interesting to see how they handle.
I'm a firm believer in the clash at the Coliseum because it's expected that it was going to drop this season because last year was an inaugural event. I believe that a 15% decrease is maybe a little more than kind of expected, but last year's inaugural event was kind of on the more boring side, I'd have to say so. But I mean, at the end of this one, it was on the more boring side because there were so many cautions. True. But I personally like the clash at the Coliseum because I think it brings a lot of great different aspects to the sport, such as like the concerts, everything like that. I love that aspect. And like, I like the aspect of having a concert in the middle of the race. Like, it's an exhibition race. Let's just have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about it. It's just something.
Speaking of exhibition, this will be my final question, and we'll end the show after that. Should the LA Clash be a points-paying race?
Hell no.
No.
Cool. I'm glad we're all on the same page because there's no way it could happen. So that was a big debate.
But I do think that they had way too many cars on the track.
Facts.
Like, way too many cars. Way too many cars on the track.
This is a quarter-mile track, and there's 27 cars on it. They don't even do that stuff at Slinger. Like, there's no way that this is happening. But yeah, glad we're on the same page with that. Let's go ahead and close out this episode, guys. Craziness. What a good episode. Episode 2 of the season already. Firstly, I want to thank Daivd Malukas for stopping by. Listen, like, guys, you understand. This guy is so genuinely nice. He's always willing to do stuff for the show. Make sure you guys go follow all of his social medias. Daivd Malukas, Malukas Daivd.
Give him love.
Give him all the love. Buy his merch. Check out Pit Lane Parlay. He's on there once a month. We love them over there. Go ahead, check out all of his stuff over there. And most importantly, make sure you guys watch IndyCar this season. It is going to be incredible.
If you're not, what are you doing?
And
if you're not, what are you doing?
You already have a favorite driver with Daivd being on the show already. He's such a good guy, and he's one of the up-and-coming stars, and I have opinion in IndyCar. So go ahead and check him out. Before we close the episode out, Jay, you got anything to say?
No, not much. Just make sure you guys tune in next week because we're going to have predictions. We're going to have chat. You guys in the chat, you're going to be able to make your own predictions and compete against us this whole season in every series. So make sure you tune in next week to be able to put your predictions down. Just saying.
And Daniel, anything to say?
Shout out to Daivd. Honestly, I don't know if we'd be where we are without him. People don't really know. Daivd kind of put us on the map a little bit. Yeah. So he holds a special place in all our hearts. I'm just excited racing's back. I'm glad we get to kind of spotlight a younger driver to people that may not know him. I hope that throughout the season we get to spotlight a lot more drivers, whether that's IndyCar, NASCAR, F1, who knows. I'm just happy we get to do the show again, man. Yeah. Season 2, baby.
Season 2. And Season 2, Episode 2, that's a wrap. Signing off for Daniel Chaney and Justin Cox and myself. Follow us on social media, guys, at Indy Boys Podcast. My name's Tristan Kreider. See you next week.